So, my tribute speech is about a very awesome man named Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla, you may have heard of him before in some recent upcoming fundraisers, or you may have heard of him as one of the fathers of electricity. He's contributed a lot, he's slightly crazy, and he's a real funny guy, and so I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. First, a little bit of an intro. He was born in, I think it was 1856, and died in 1943. On the day that he was born, on the night that he was born, his midwife, he was born during a lightning storm, and his midwife said that that's a bad omen, and his mother corrected her and said, no, he will be a child of light. So that's kind of like a little bit of a prophecy, like a foreshadowing of what was going to happen, because this guy is absolutely amazing. He's an absolute genius. He's a little quirky. He's got a little bit of weirdness to him, but I guess every genius does if you read about anybody. He was actually in love with a pigeon. He wasn't in love with any specific woman. He was in love with a pigeon, like actual love with a pigeon. True love, right? So he was basically the forefather of AC electricity system. He basically explained to us how it all worked. He did many experiments involving that. He came up with the wireless transmission of electricity to send messages. He basically came up with the ideas before it actually was developed for Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi that you use now for wireless or anything like that, he basically helped us out with that. He did experiments. He had a little bit of a rivalry with Thomas Edison. At first he immigrated. He's a Serbian American, so he immigrated from Serbia to the United States, and he started to work under Thomas Edison. And Thomas Edison didn't give him a lot of credit, didn't pay him what he originally told him he would pay him, so he went off on his own. And he accomplished way more on his own than he ever could have for Thomas Edison. He came up with the idea for smartphones, and he was very, very specific about how he did this, actually. He came up with the idea that he could wirelessly transmit electricity at a specific frequency to any type of a device in your hands. Now, let me give you some perspective. This is before there was any phone whatsoever, really. There was the rotary telephone, and then there were his ideas for a smartphone. And he basically came up with the idea of a text message. That is the most amazing thing that I can think of. He is a really amazing guy, and he has come up with a lot of crazy ideas that we have actually started to come up with just today. And if you go to learn any more about him, you will read way more than I could ever tell you. He has just a lot to teach us, and there's been a lot of fundraisers. There's even a company that's been named after him, a car company that runs on completely electric cars. You should look about that company too. So I hope that encourages you and inspires you to look a little bit more up about Nikola Tesla. He's one of my heroes in history, and I hope you've learned a lot. Thank you.
You know, it's probably not good that that beeps like that. This is a video, it's recording still.